I look at the definition before I get into other things. It says portraying great qualities that make the community proud. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so what are we what are we doing that's making our community proud, right? Um, in the past, we had the civil rights era. So we had people when they would get on any sort of, if they were performing any sort of extemporaneous speaking or whatever it was, they were coming from a place of intellectualism,
Okay.
right? So, whether we agreed with the Malcolm versus Martin approach or whatever, and there's other great people,
The
during
ideology.
that era, um, they were coming from a different kind of space. Back then, we valued that level intellectualism. We valued consciousness. We valued femininity. We valued masculinity in as far as back in the 60s. What has been co-opted today, that's another discussion for another day, right? We
Mm-hmm.
valued, I believe we valued family. We valued, I think, obtaining education at the time because it appeared to be out of reach for us. So our
Yes.
HBCUs, I believe, now I wasn't born in the 60s, I didn't live in the 60s, but I believed were held in high esteem. On and on and on. Until this day, many of our doctors and lawyers, no, let me rephrase that. Our doctors and dentists come from HBCUs, right? I'm not sure where our lawyers come from, but like the institution, Howard University, is known for pushing out many of our doctors and lawyers. When you think about our engineers, you think of Morgan State, you think of North Carolina A&T. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
FAMU. Yeah.
Did I miss something or
No, I was saying FAMU is another one. Yeah.
FAMU? See, I didn't
Mm.
know. Were they known for engineering?
I know quite a few engineers from FAMU that are pretty good.
I mean, granted, I think about more like in our area because we're in the DC.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But
Sure.
when you think about, um, and that just rattled off the top of my head, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
when you think of now, I had to throw in North Carolina and T, even though I didn't go there, but that was just one black school that I applied to that I wanted to go to. So when I think,
A&T churns them out. So
yeah, so when I think about Black excellence, we had, in my opinion, it's not based on fact, based off of my perception. It
sure.
was, we valued those things. We valued when people took pride in how they dressed. So when I think about going back to the, before I let you in on the conversation, when I think about what the topic is portraying great qualities that make the community proud. I'm like, what are we proud of? And I look down, which is why I thought of like, you and I were talking earlier about Black athletes and that type of thing. I'm like, we're proud of our athletes. We're proud of our, I would say, physical aesthetics.
Mhm.
We are proud of our ability to entertain. When I say entertain, I kind of feel like we're like the modern day step and fetch. I mean, like we're proud of those things. We've gotten so far away from anything that was intellectual and family based, community based.
And I don't know that we've gotten away from it. It's just not out. It's just not out there in the forefront. Like, I mean, obviously the one standout in that world will be Obama, right? Goes to Harvard, ascends to the presidency, so on and so forth. But what happened in the community, when he was elected the first time, I mean, Black America went crazy. Everybody was celebrating the first Black president. Black man finally gets to be president, so on and so forth. And then when maybe some of us might not agree with his policies or whatever the case may be, then we start to tear him down. I'm like, no, he's still Black man, show family man, show that hey, I can hold this hardest job in the world down for 8 years with no scandal. When they come at me all crazy, I maintain my composure. I'm an excellent orator. All of that stuff that we just talked about, the family man, the educated man, the masculinity, the loving your wife, all of that stuff, loving you, all of that stuff. Forget whether you agree with him as a politician, but in this context of Black excellence, he did it. And even within our own community, some people still tore him down. So the question is, what does the community value?
So it's interesting. I was this close to putting Barack Obama, President Barack Obama on the thumbnail.
On the thumbnail.
But I was going to bring it up in conversation, just to inject like into the conversation, like, well, what do you think
Mm-hmm.
about Obama? So like, I didn't agree with all his policies, but I wasn't. I viewed Barack Obama as a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, there were some things that I wasn't a fan of, but
Right.
I would still, regardless of whether, like you say, you agree with his politics, I would consider him to be Black excellence. But then what happens is when people stopped agreeing with his politics or they didn't agree with his politics, then his Blackness was questioned.
But why should it be? Because
I'm with you.
yeah,
Like
I understand, John. Yeah,
people pick and choose
but
when
that's what I
people
mean.
are biracial when they want to call them Black.
Yeah,
So I'm like, which one is it?
but let you not have a famous face look like him and get pulled over by the police in the middle of Mississippi. See what happens to you. You're
Yeah.
gonna find out. You're gonna find out where you stand. But
Yeah.
again, you can't. So I think we're